What's up guys, Iron sharpens iron. Today we're going to go over some pitching tips and how I use analog pitching. We're going to go over the settings that I use, the different camera views that I use, the reason why I pitch the way that I pitch, and a few other things. So it'll probably be one of a series of how-to videos for analog pitching. Make sure that you let me know if you like it. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if this is something that you're interested in. And please leave a comment. I really appreciate hearing from you guys. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at the different gameplay options that I use. And we're going to look at the pitching settings that I have. So for the pitching interface, I use pure analog. I did use meter for quite a long time, and it was something that I was really comfortable with, but I eventually decided to switch to pure analog because of the fact that you have almost complete control over where the ball is going to go when you're using analog, and you don't really have that with meter. I remember one instance specifically where I was pitching to a guy and I was using meter pitching, and it was the bottom of the ninth. I pitched a perfect pitch, meaning that I hit the meter perfect. It was a slider on the outside corner of the plate, but instead of the ball going to the outside corner of the plate, it hung over the middle of the plate, right in the middle of the zone, and the guy took it deep for a walk-off. And I thought then that I needed to make the switch to analog, even though it might be tough, because the meter pitching just does not give you enough control over where the ball is actually going to go. It brings the control of the pitcher itself into play much more than with the pure analog pitching interface. So that's why I decided to make the switch to pure analog. It has made a huge improvement in the way that I pitch, and I want to make sure that I'm passing that on to you guys. So with the pitch feedback, I use on. The pitching view is going to be different depending on whether I'm using a left-hander or a right-hander on the mound. Usually if it's a left-hander, I'm going to be using pitcher zoom, and usually if it's a right-hander, I'll be using pitcher offset. There are a few exceptions. Chris Sale would be one because he really dips down low to the left. I would use pitcher wide for him instead, and I'll explain to you why the pitching view is so critical in my opinion. The pitching ball marker is going to be pitch trail on, and this is very important to me. I want to know what the plane of the pitch is doing and what it looks like, especially from the batter's perspective. So this will show me the plane that the pitch is going to come out of the hand and how that pitch is going to break as it gets closer to the plate. I also have pitch confidence on simply because I want to know if any of my pitches are lacking in confidence. I want to make sure that I don't use those in critical situations or in a count where they could get hammered. The pitch confidence in this game makes quite a bit of difference. So if you're pitching with a pitch that has low confidence and the batter makes contact with it, there is actually a higher likelihood that that ball will fall in for a hit. So when I'm pitching with somebody like Kershaw, I'm going to be using the pitcher zoom camera view. And the reason for that is because I'm able to see the plane of the ball right out of the hand, pretty much right down the plane. Here's the fastball. I can see the way that this is going to break as it gets near to the plate. Here's the slider. I can see how that's going to break as it gets near to the plate. Here's the curveball. I can see how that's going to break. And here's the changeup. And I can see how that's going to break as it comes out of the hand. The camera angle that I would use with somebody like Aroldis Chapman would also be pitcher zoom, because I can see the break of the pitches coming out of his hand. And with someone like Chris Sale, I'll use the pitcher wide view because it's a little farther left than the pitcher zoom view. And since Sale is almost like a left-handed submarine pitcher, I want that camera angle to be a little bit further left because that allows me to see, again, right down the plane of the release. For Kenley Jansen, I'll use the pitcher offset pitcher view because he's a right-hander, and that's the typical pitching view that I'll use for a right-handed pitcher. It helps me see the breaks of the pitches coming out of the hand better. And then for somebody like Pat Neshek, I'll use the outfield pitching view. It's a little bit further to the right than pitcher offset, and since he drops down to the right as a submariner, it really helps me to see the break on the pitches much better. Strike three call. So when you're pitching with pitcher analog, there's going to be a meter that shows up after you select your pitch. And you're going to pull down with your right analog stick until you reach the yellow horizontal bar. Now you want to hit that yellow horizontal bar perfectly. The reason why the horizontal bar is so important is because whether you hit that correctly is going to dictate whether the pitch is going to go higher or lower than you expect it to go. The left analog stick is what controls the reticle up towards the top near the representation of home plate. Right now you can see that I'm moving the left analog stick over to the right. So the reticle goes over to the right, and then as I'm moving over to the left, the reticle goes over to the left as well. So with analog pitching, you're doing a few things at the same time. With the left analog stick, you're deciding where in the zone you want that pitch to go. Once you've decided where you want the pitch to go, you start pulling down on the right analog stick. Now, to me, the most critical piece of the pitch is making sure that I hit the yellow horizontal bar perfectly. In fact, and this is a little tip that I'll give you, once I've decided where I want this pitch to go by moving the left analog stick, I will only focus on the yellow horizontal bar throughout the duration of the pitch. What that means is that I will be focusing my eyes on the yellow horizontal bar for the entire duration of the pitch, even as I'm bringing the right analog stick back up towards the reticle. Now, the reason I do that is because of how critical the yellow horizontal bar is. For example, if I'm trying to pitch low in the zone and I miss the yellow horizontal bar slightly above where I'm trying to go, which means that I'm going to be releasing the pitch early, the pitch itself will go higher. So let's just use this as an example. I'm trying to hit a fastball low in the zone, but if I come down here and I don't go all the way down, but I release it early, look at where that ball goes. That's not the pitch that I want to make. Now, on the other side, say I'm trying to throw a fastball high in the zone. If I don't hit the horizontal bar perfectly, but say I'm late on the release, then the ball, instead of being up here, will go towards the middle of the zone, like this.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
And you can see that that ball ended up right in the middle of the zone. And it was simply because I didn't have good timing when I was trying to hit the yellow horizontal bar on the way back up. So when I'm pitching, I only focus on the yellow bar and making sure that I have good timing on the pitch release. And I feel like I can trust my brain and trust my thumb to go back up to the red reticle pretty much where I'm expecting it to be.
Sent out to straightaway center field.
So guys, thanks for watching the first how-to video and how to pitch with analog pitching. I hope this has been helpful to you guys. Look out for the next few videos that come out that are going to be a part of this series. If you like the channel and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like the video, then please press like, and please make sure that you leave your comments. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, thanks.